Lower eyelid blepharoplasty is performed to rejuvenate the eyes. In other words, those pesky lower eyelid bags that make you look old and tired are treated with a lower eyelid blepharoplasty. There are multiple different techniques that can be used to perform a lower eyelid blepharoplasty. The goals of these techniques are all the same. So what we want to do is to smooth out that junction between the lower eyelid bag and your cheek. We call that the lid-cheek junction. So the problem when you develop these lower eyelid bags is that there's essentially a sausage of fat that is trapped. And what we need to do is release that sausage of fat so the ground beef can spill out and smooth out that junction between your lower eyelid and your cheek. So think of it like, disrupting that sausage along your lower eyelid and letting the ground beef spill out. So we're kind of dumping the hill into the valley to smooth out that lid cheek junction. So the way I like to perform a lower eyelid blepharoplasty is to do it all through the inside of your lower eyelid, because I do not want to put any incisions on the outside of your lower eyelid, because that can lead to an increased risk for complications such as lower eyelid malposition or ectropion. So the way I do it is through the inside of your lower eyelid. I will disrupt that sausage of fat so that it can no longer develop, and that bulge or that hill will decrease in size. Some of the fat I remove, some of the fat I push down underneath that valley. So that is one part of the operation. The other part of the operation is I'll harvest a little bit of fat from your abdomen or your thighs and process that fat and graft it or inject it to that valley to further blend the junction between your lower eyelid and your cheek. And the last thing I'll do, if you have loose or wrinkly skin of your lower eyelid, so if you have too much skin, it's wrinkly, it's loose, I'll treat it with the erbium laser to sort of shrink wrap and tighten up that lower eyelid skin. And that is how I can smooth out your lid cheek junction without actually putting any incisions at all on your lower eyelid. To learn more, check out our website where you can upload your photos and concerns as a virtual consult. You can also check out our price estimator to get pricing information for all the various procedures we offer. And finally, if you'd like to have your questions answered on a future podcast or Q&A video session like this, please leave a message on our SpeakPipe. You can go to our blog page and our SpeakPipe is located there. Thanks for listening.